This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com. Hi there, folks. Welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true... Wait a minute. That's not what we're doing this week. We're watching...
Smash cut to jazz.
Yeah. That's right. This week we're watching Thunderbolt Gundam, or Gundam Thunderbolt, I guess. December Sky. This is a Buy Me a Coffee episode. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, my co-host and crazed psychopath who loves jazz, Stairmaster.
Haha, I'm just here to have fun, you guys.
You have like a look in your eye when you're in that murder machine.
I'm suffering on the inside. Haha.
And with us, as always, of course, our other co-host and multiple amputee who's real desperate for vengeance, Kieran.
One day they're gonna blow my head off and I'm gonna get a robo head and be even angrier.
Imagine he got a robo brain.
Well, then he would be a cyber new type.
I guess it's true. At a certain point, this guy just becomes RoboCop.
That'd be fun.
They do that. They do that in Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Someone becomes a RoboCop.
Yeah, they basically put a guy's brain in a mobile suit.
That goes well, I take it.
It did not go very well. It's more of a RoboCop 2 situation.
Oh.
Oh, he's not happy about being RoboCop?
Oh no, he's too happy, that's the problem. And he wants revenge.
Yeah, most RoboCops do.
Being happy?
I'm not sure if RoboCop didn't want revenge.
I guess he's angry, now that I think about it. He's more of an angry guy than a happy guy.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, exactly. Most
people who want revenge aren't happy.
Yeah.
They're only happy once they get it, and then they become very satisfied.
Yeah.
And then they never feel any unsatisfaction again after achieving their goal.
But yeah, that's what revenge is all about. Is it's like you want the revenge, and then you get the revenge, and then you're afterwards you're happy and satisfied.
You just let out a contented sigh, and life is perfectly fine after that.
Yeah.
You never have to dwell on everything that happened up to the point of revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like this movie.
Do you think those guys are satisfied? The 4 dudes who survived this film?
No.
Probably. I'd be pretty satisfied.
I was satisfied at the end of the film.
I was very satisfied at the end of the film as well.
But I think
that's spoilers.
Yeah. Well, anyway, to sort of preface this, I did say last week that we were going to start our Cowboy Bebop mini-series, live-action Cowboy Bebop, that should be mentioned. But Stairmaster begged, pretty much. He pleaded.
I was like, hey, Sunrise put the movie on YouTube. We should do the episode on it. And Swanson was like, yeah, good idea.
So we did.
I was basically saying, no. We can't do this. This is not in the order we received the copy requests. And Swanson, he gave me this look, it was it cut right into my soul. It was a look that told me that if I continued talking, I was basically going to die, so.
And luckily you didn't continue talking.
I stopped talking immediately, and I put my head down. I humbled myself in front of Swanson.
Yeah, he rented his garments before me. That's how we got here, talking about Gundam Thunderbolt. So yeah, this is of course as always a
December Sky.
Yes, December Sky. Not to be confused with I guess there's a sequel movie to this.
Yeah, Bandit Flower, which you do not have to watch under any circumstance.
Okay. So this is another Buy Me a Coffee episode. Of course, as always, if you have an episode for the show that you think would make good fodder, why not bring it over? It's a single coffee that you got to do. Go over to buymeacoffee.com/tvtuners. A single coffee gives you a single episode to discuss. Or, multiples if you're crazy about it, if you're wild.
Psychopath. Traumatized by the horrors of war.
Yeah. If, as always, with I think every single Gundam thing we've done, this is a coffee brought to us by Pfeiffer. And, it's good stuff. But before we get to that,
it's the only good thing from him out of that batch he bought.
Oh, we don't have high expectations for Berserk?
Not the one he picked.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to save my judgment for after I've consumed product.
Yeah, that's how Kyo always does it. He says, let me consume this product first. And he sits down and he watches it.
Let me read the streets.
Yeah. But before we get into our actual discussion here, as always, of course, do you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, or otherwise, you can send them to us at our email address. And we'll read them aloud on the podcast. That email address is tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Kyorain?
Stare. I don't know what the email is.
The email is Thunderbolt Gundam December Sky @gmail.com.
Oh, Swanson, it's
directed by Cole Matsuel.
It's Thunderbolty Gundam @gmail.org.
That's right. You can be like Geo, who sent us this email. Order up. If the TBT3 had to open a fast food franchise, which one would it be?
Wait. Oh.
Well, it wouldn't be Five Guys.
There's only 3 of us. This is true.
I don't even know if that's a franchise.
We could find 2 other guys. We've got friends.
Is Five Guys a franchise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, of course it's a franchise, Kyo. It's all...
But does it let people franchise?
I would assume.
Okay, it is a franchise,
yes.
But
so we could find...
not going to happen.
Unless we find 2 other people. Which I think we could. I think we're very well liked in the community.
If we can't do something like that, there's always the option of like a Wendy's.
Can we really have like 3 plus 2 additional guys, and call it 5 guys?
Yeah, because there'd be 5 guys.
I think if you franchise a 5 guys, the requirement is not necessary that there be 5 guys.
No, I'm pretty sure it's in the charter, and the guys need to be equal in position as well. It needs to be
According to Wikipedia,
5.
According to Wikipedia, there's only 2 founders, Jerry Murrell and Janie Murrell.
You mean to tell me that this franchise is a lie?
Yeah, one of them isn't even a guy, presumably.
That these rich people lied to me?
No, you don't understand. It was the husband and wife, and then their 4 kids.
What? That's 6 guys.
The wife is officially a founder, but not one of the guys.
That's 6 guys.
She's not one of the boys.
So I guess we're just gonna go with Burger King here.
Yeah, that fits the TVT brand in the sense that not a lot of people like it anymore.
And there's a guy who's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But everyone loves him for some reason as well.
Yeah.
And that's me.
It's true.
Yeah, so that's the answer. We discussed it for a long time and all came to the logical conclusion that it is Burger King.
This is the only thing that can be done.
What are we supposed to do?
Yeah, you would not catch us opening a Subway. That's for sure.
Hell no. I'd be dead before I opened up a Subway. I mean,
Subway's like not a place that I would want to put my name on.
I mean, we could do like a Taco Bell.
No, that sounds like a bad idea.
Why? Because it has to be open so late?
Oh yeah, I'd get sleepy.
I just have a feeling that if we open a Taco Bell, someone would die at the location.
If we started up like a KFC, I'd probably fall in the vat of grease and become the Joker. So unsanitary.
Yeah.
The Joker?
Yeah.
Joker fell in like chemicals. Like, no, he didn't get disfigured like that.
No, yeah, he felt. I don't know what what version of the Joker, a chicken.
I'm proposing
grease
a new model,
based,
a new version of the Joker.
A Joker that's a burn victim.
A reimagining of the Joker for this modern age. Now that there's a Nirvana listening Batman, I got like a Korn listening Joker.
Didn't they just reimagine the Joker like recently in a movie that
It's
you
critically
guys
acclaimed,
liked, but I didn't?
I think all of our listeners liked.
Yeah, that's true. But you could reimagine him again. It's been long enough. It's been a few years.
I mean, I didn't really. Yeah, I didn't like that reimagining, so might as well make it again and do a good job this time.
Okay, what if the Joker was like a giant man, but he had no head and his face was on his torso, and he was carrying a giant club around? He's like a story tall.
At this point, I would ask myself, why are we calling him the Joker?
Is this some kind of like Greek mythology monster that I'm not aware of?
I don't know. I just think like a Dark Souls kind of guy.
Stair's been playing some Elden Ring, so
yeah, Elden Ring.
I don't know. I like Stair's idea of a Korn listening Joker, like a Joker with some like a very pasty Joker with some dreadlocks.
He invites you to a party, and you pass out on their couch, and the DVD player just left running. So you're just haunted by the menu music to like Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah. He shows up in his like car, and he calls it his Dragula.
Yeah, he's unable to die. He's unable to die. He's unable to die.
And that's why we're gonna open a Wendy's?
Yes, that's what. No, we're opening Burger King, you stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, we were going through the list of places that are quote unquote good that we could open, but would be bad for us or for people around us.
Where's the part where he gets burnt by chicken grease come into play?
If we opened a KFC, Stairmaster would fall into the vat of chicken grease.
Because it's very unhealthy. It's very unsanitary, and that's what I imagine.
Yeah, they have a big vat of chicken grease back there.
They just have a very filthy kitchen in KFC. And like when the health inspector comes, they just slip him a 20, so he doesn't say anything about how
they slip him into the chicken grease.
No, he just breathes in the miasma and dies.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah, the people back there, it's sort of like when Walt and Jesse are cooking.
Yeah.
Back there.
How do they get the A on the front of the building?
What A? There's no A in KFC, Keo.
He means for the health inspector.
Oh. They take it off his corpse.
Yeah, he has an A.
He's just carrying the placard with him.
Yeah. He's got a placard for every occasion.
So he just has like... Do they have like a D placard for the front of the building?
I think they just give him a gun if that happens, and they
kill themselves with it.
No, they kill the restaurant owner.
Oh, so the restaurant owner doesn't like ever get a D rating on the restaurant; they just die.
Yeah, and then they close the restaurant down.
Imagine you get a D rating on your restaurant, and then you end up exactly like Fleming's dad.
You shoot. Oh, you blow your brains out.
Yeah. You just and then you just walk in and you see that.
Well, I feel like you did that. I feel like you did that for different reasons.
think getting a D in his restaurant.
You think Xeon gave him a D on side 4?
They listen. They were going to if he didn't kill himself.
You ever go inside of a place with a C rating before?
Dear God, no. I hope not.
I don't think I would know, actually.
Why not? You don't check when you go in?
I don't know. They don't usually display it.
I wasn't even aware
right?
they have placards with letters on them. Is this like a regional thing?
I figured everywhere did it.
No, I think everywhere does do it. I just don't know how prominently displayed they are.
I think we can all agree that Shangri-La probably has a C on it. Or I guess Keo can agree.
I don't even know what that is, so...
That's the colony from
agree.
Zeta Gundam. Where all the kids hang out in the junkyard.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, the Shangri-La restaurant scene. Every place has a C.
No, that's a yeah.
The colony itself got health graded by somebody, and the whole place got a C.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the health rating has to be like right next to the entrance, so you can see it when you go in.
It's by the. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've just never noticed it being like poor.
Yeah, I've never seen any of these letters. I think you're making this up, Keo.
I've seen them before, but never like to the extent where it was like, ooh, that's a C.
You never go like to a restaurant or like a fast food joint or something, and you don't see like the big A, the blue A.
I think that's like the only thing I've seen, is what I mean.
Yeah. So Stairmaster says he's never seen it at all, though.
Yeah, maybe we don't have health inspectors in Chicago.
I think Stairmaster's just not very perceptive about. He's got something set. His mind is set on getting some food.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about those nuggies.
Yeah.
I think that like Stairmaster's local Five Guys has like a C rating, and he just doesn't know. There's like ants in the meat or something.
Oh no! I do want to say the last time I ordered from Five Guys, I asked for contactless delivery, and the guy just waited outside our door. So maybe you're right.
We often don't understand what you're talking about when you.
Oh my God!
I also
you ask for contactless delivery, and they're calling you like, "Where you at? Where you at?
Hey,
you here?
Can you cancel this order? My baby mama ate your food."
Interestingly, I tried to order contactless delivery, and I got a contract killer.
You got sucked off? Oh.
Similar.
And since you died in someone's arms.
Yeah, that's a way of looking at it. Anyway, thanks for that email, Gio. Yeah. So, we doing a tweet of the week? I feel like we've talked for a long time already.
No.
All right.
No, we're just gonna talk about what did we watch this week?
Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt December Sky.
Released in 2016?
2016.
The year of Trump.
This is technically an Obama era movie.
Yeah, and you can tell.
Oh.
Not dark enough.
I mean, most of the shots are in space.
True. No, this is a good movie.
Unlike Barack Obama.
Yeah, bad movie.
It was not a movie at all.
It's true.
Let me be clear. I am not a film.
I'm a person. Not a movie. So yeah, this is Gundam Jazz Edition. A lot of there's it's not just jazz that's on the soundtrack, but
oh yeah, there's country music.
It's Gundam Music Edition. It just has different music throughout the whole
it's
thing.
Essentially two music snobs are going to war.
Yeah. And one of them is kinda cancelable.
One of them is a complete sociopath, and the other one is like
just losing bits of its humanity as the film goes on.
Yeah, the other one is perhaps a bit too into the war system.
World's most distraught man finds one last shred of hope he didn't even know he had destroyed.
Yeah. Pretty much. So yeah, we get introduced to one of the two main protagonists. Is it E.O. Fleming?
E.O. Fleming is the Gundam pilot.
Okay.
But he's not in... Yeah, we open up on this shattered space colony. There's a bunch of debris, including a school bus frozen in a block of ice.
Yeah.
And we see the Zaku mounting this giant laser cannon. Pretty cool. And there's thunder in space.
Thunder in space, hence the title.
And then we zoom out to this Federation spaceship. Kilometers away, and everyone's jazzing out.
Yeah, they're all
Eddie ass beat.
Yeah, and
they're really jamming out here, and it gives you the idea they're gonna have a good time in a few minutes.
Yeah, it seems like they're gonna have a good war on their hands. They're gonna have some fun
one guy's
wartime.
kissing his girlfriend.
Yeah,
or about to. I can't.
And him and Mr. Fleming, Mr. EO here, gets him and his buddy
his dashboard.
Cornelius,
yeah.
Yeah, they're hanging out, having a good time. He's talking about how much he loves jazz music.
Yeah, this film comes so close to having normal Gundam names. And then you have a guy named Cornelius.
You got a
right there.
Yeah, I mean EO is borderline.
Yeah.
Also, the ship captain, isn't her name Claudia Peer?
Claudia. Yeah. But Claudia on its own is fine.
Yeah, but the fact that her name is Peer.
Yeah.
I think most people actually
in
this
ad-libs
one,
for names.
They all have pretty normal names. You got Daryl on the other side and Carla.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, this side, you got EO and Claudia. So it's really just Cornelius is fucking it up for everybody.
The guy piloting the Dom is titled something ridiculous like Wolfer or something. The white-haired guy.
The guy who gets it?
The guy who gets the Dom at the end and lives.
Oh.
The only guy who lives out of the unit besides Daryl.
I was going to say, because the guy who gets shot in the head is Hoover. And it's funny. His name's Hoover. He gets thrown into the vacuum of space.
Yeah. Rest in peace. He was a real one, folks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He died as he lived, talking about how he was going to have sex with some women.
EO puts on his AirPods and they head out. All the gyms are launched. They're trying to take back this colony and root out the sniper nest.
It's wild how quickly shit goes south on this.
2 guys died just crashing into the space debris.
Yeah.
They're going so fast. And then EO's suit immediately gets shot first.
Yeah.
And he said something like, "Who's it gonna be?" Boom!
And pretty much everybody... Oh, there's a few people who don't die. But everyone else is pretty much...
Well, everyone gets shot.
Yeah, but sure. Cornelius survives, and some other people do as well. And we find the snipers, and we get introduced to our other of the two sort of warring protagonists in this movie, Daryl. Mm-hmm. He seems like a pretty chill guy, all things considered. He's listening to contemporary music.
He's listening to country.
They're pretty nonchalant about the slaughter that they just engaged in.
Yeah. Well, see, you say it's country music, Stare, but it's us. He has a varied music taste in comparison to EO.
Well,
he's listening to a lot of golden oldies, or at least royalty-free versions of them.
I think he's only listening to country, like that song that plays when he's having a flashback to his parents.
Yeah.
I think that's just a song his dad listened to.
Well, also, and I feel like you noticed this, Stare, maybe. If not, I definitely did. Because it comes up in the end, or near the end of the movie. He's listening to the song from The Irishman.
What?
It's like a royalty-free version with different lyrics, but the tune is the exact same. The shut up, shout-a-doo is the same as The Irishman. It's just he's not singing in the still of the night.
Oh.
So my question, since this is 2016, Martin Scorsese see this and decide to steal that song?
Yes.
I saw this incredible film, Gundam Thunderbolt.
Vaguely related, do you know that Clint Eastwood has a picture of Jotaro Kujo in his house?
That's pretty cool.
Why?
Because Jotaro was modeled after young Clint Eastwood.
Oh, so it was a nice big ego boost for him.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, that makes Clint Eastwood mildly more tolerable.
Yeah,
but...
he even met the author of JoJo and got a poster from him.
Dang. But the real clue that this is the inspiration for The Irishman is at the end when EO says, leave the cockpit open.
Yeah.
But yeah, they it's not right here
yeah.
where he starts listening to the Irishman song, but it does come up later, and then it's in the big montage at the end when they're fighting.
So yeah, they finish up sniping everyone, and Daryl's like, "Good job, team. Let's hit those showers."
Yeah, good job, everybody.
And then Hoover's like, "Hey," something's wrong with my cable outfit.
And he's
then
just brutally shot in the face.
Yeah, that's EO.
Dude, they really sell the horror of everybody else to just see their commander get murdered in front of them.
Yeah.
And then his body
he's
just gets
like, hey, I'm
pushed out.
Popping in here, gonna take this.
And he's very ableist too. He calls Daryl peg legs.
Yeah, that's fucking awful. Not cool, dude.
He's like, yeah, all my bros died, but I'm gonna live, so I'm pretty happy.
He gets in there and he immediately starts shit talking, where he's like, "You guys are pretty good, but too bad." He's like, "I can't believe I almost got murdered by a bunch of people with missing limbs. You guys suck." He's like, "Anyway, bye."
I'll be back when you hear jazz. You're about to die.
It wasn't through my own skill that I survived, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
blind luck is a sort of a theme in this movie.
So yeah, he gets out of there with the
Dom.
The Dom, yeah. And everyone else sort of just like gets out of there real quick. Like, there's a bit where they're in like their little cockpit or like their little pod going back to the main ship, and they have the body of Hoover all like bagged up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the professor wants to recycle them.
Yes, and this is when we get introduced to Carla, who is weeping over Hoover's body.
Yeah, I think he was her boyfriend.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
Or that was sort of an on-again, will they or won't they type situation.
Yeah, not sure. It is funny because it happens right after Daryl is like, "Man, that guy was always saying he was some sort of playboy," and then immediately a girl's weeping over his body.
Boy, was he embarrassed.
Yeah. I think I like to think that immediately his mind was like, "What if I made her my girlfriend?"
I think his only thoughts are, "When will this end? I want to go home."
He's a classic Gundam protagonist in the sense that he is constantly thinking about how he shouldn't be here and doesn't want to be here, actually.
See, me personally, I would be like, I am so happy I had the opportunity to pilot a giant robot. I can't wait to go back out there and fight some more guys.
That me fighting that giant robot was super cool. Can't wait to pilot some more. Nothing bad will happen to me.
Well, the thing is, he's not even really piloting the robot at this point because he has a prosthesis. All he's doing is it's like operating the sniper cannon. Yeah, all he's doing is operating the sniper cannon. He's not flying around and doing stunts.
Yet. Yeah, EO goes back to the ship. He's welcomed as like some big old hero because he brought back this Dom. We get introduced to Claudia. She's the captain. And Graham, who is like her second in command,
Yeah, they're like the Free French in World War II, except for the space colony that got blown up that they're fighting over now.
Oh,
the
yeah.
War Brotherhood, yeah. And apparently they've bought a Gundam prototype, and since he is the highest-ranking survivor of all the pilots, he's going to pilot it.
Yeah, we get, there's a running theme that runs through the subplot between Claudia and Graham of, like, the elite class putting their own in charge of stuff at the expense of the people in lower tiers.
Yeah. We get to hear Giran Zabi on the radio. That's cool.
Yeah, I did notice that. Also, you know what I was, this guy who's voicing EO was in JoJo, right?
I think I'd have to check.
I think he was in Golden Wind, but his voice is very familiar. But, yeah, so there's this whole little theme about how, like, I guess, like, the whole arc with Claudia is that she is not at all prepared to be a captain of a ship. And, it's fine. It's a fine little arc if you ignore the fact that Gundam always does this to female characters.
Yeah, this is Bruno.
Okay.
Superman.
Yeah, that makes sense. In a way, there's some Bruno energy here.
To be fair, considering she kind of got just like thrown in the thick of things.
Yeah. No, I mean,
none of our three guys on the Federation side were in the military prior to this.
Yeah.
She only got that position because, like, the person above her, like, immediately died or something, right?
Yes, she got put in a Bright Noah situation, essentially, but she is not Bright Noah.
Bright Noah is an interesting guy.
Well, Bright Noah shows up and he's like, "I'm ready for war."
Oh yeah,
he's like, "I'm ready for war."
He signed up
and
for
it. He's like, "I'm ready for war. I'm calling the shots."
He also got training,
and
you know.
He got training, and he was like, I don't know. He's a scary guy in my opinion.
Yeah, what goes on inside the head of Bright Noah? Perhaps we'll find out in one of these other two halfway films.
Meanwhile, Claudia's just kind of being torn up over guilt, sending people to their deaths constantly.
Yeah, and we get this scene with her and EO where they're sort of talking to each other back and forth, and then EO just makes out with her.
Yeah.
And it turns out they have a relationship of their own going on here. They don't even try to hide it apparently, because Graham just sees them and is like, "Oh, there they go
Fuck
again."
You. And then
there they go again.
Send me to my death. And smash cut to the Gundam with an ominous thunder clap.
Yeah, so
this Gundam, very cool.
This is a cool Gundam.
Yeah, this is the full armor Gundam.
He gets in and he's like, "Now this is Gundam." Yeah, he gets in it and immediately goes for a joyride, goes around. We get a very cool part of this movie, by the way, is the POV of him murdering this Zaku.
Yeah, the found footage of this massacre scene.
It's at once horrifying and, like, cool.
Also, you can hear the jazz somehow playing through the vacuum of space.
It's wild that this guy has somehow figured out to play his jazz so loud that you can hear it.
But only when you're close by. It's not broadcast over the radio. It's literally proximity-based.
Yeah.
No, it's broadcast over the radio. You can only pick it up because the Minosky interference kicks in when you're too far away. It's
true. Yeah, and he just, like, breaks this guy apart. And the crew on the Xeon side are watching it, and one of Daryl's friends just says, "It's jazz." Good line.
Well, that's what I would say.
Yeah, and the commander's basically like, "You are fucked. We have no answer to this."
Our intel tells us we are fucked. Our best recourse is to fight anyway. Because if we don't, we will die. And then we start
Hate to
getting some
see it.
flashback material because we get a country song "Nightmare" of Eo's
Oh,
backstory.
Yeah.
I
Eo's
like to
dad
think
was a
this.
country
He
fan.
keeps one country song. It's sort of like when you keep one bullet in the chamber for Russian roulette. He keeps one country song in the playlist.
He's like the guy from John Woo's The Killer. You keep one country song for your target or yourself.
And it triggers like nightmares for him. Like, if your dad's favorite song is still in your playlist after he murdered himself, which is what I call suicide, then I think maybe that's time to take it out. Is when he dies.
Oh, I think it's just playing in his head during the nightmare. It's not even on his playlist.
No, it is on. It's
what...
playing because Cornelius comes up and is like,
Oh.
"Whoa, isn't that your dad's song?"
Yeah. Interesting
it's,
difference, and this is based off a manga, and in the manga they aren't listening to mixtapes, they're listening to a radio station in a bunker in the colony, run by the survivors.
I guess that's kind of cool. Less cool
Yeah.
than if they were just listening to jazz. Yeah, I looked it up. I looked it up. Interestingly enough, I guess the manga is still running.
Yeah, it's gone some places.
Yeah, none of them good.
Eo's now in a Zeong.
Huh. Okay.
Co-piloted with the new type lady, and you gotta fight Daryl on the moon. And Daryl's in the Psycho Gundam.
So they switched alliances.
Yeah, and no, it's still Federation versus Zeong. It's just Zeong. It's just the Federation has access to the Zeong at the end of this film. If you saw the stinger scene.
Oh yeah. Okay. Interesting.
So yeah, we get to see Side 4 being blown up by the fighting between the Federation and the Zeon. You get to see a Zaku 1 with a dumbass jetpack.
We also get. I really like this flashback. This Daryl flashback.
Yeah.
Of him. So he's training for this new Gundam that's gonna use his
new mobile suit.
Yeah, this new mobile suit, not a Gundam. That's gonna allow him to like move with it. Essentially, like he's going to pilot it with his missing limbs. Essentially, and we get a flashback to like him as a child running on the beach as he's running on this thing, and then also, yeah, it's good stuff. Also, we get like him waking up after he lost his legs in battle.
Yeah,
it's
after this World War II style paradrop.
Yeah, it's wild. We don't think about how there are people who are just fighting regularly.
There are guys who don't get the robots and are just. If a robot shows up, they basically have no recourse but to die.
Yeah, like it's wild that they made like all these robots, but then also still enough people to be like, you're traveling on foot, even though this is a robot battle, baby.
They didn't have enough robots.
Yeah. It's like being in the tank when everyone else is outside the tank.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't end well for him in that regard.
If I was in the war, I would just get in the robot. I wouldn't be on the outside of the robot.
Okay, but what if your side doesn't have robots for like the first 8 months of the war?
I would just not go in the war. I'd just stay home.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, but hear me out, Keo. What if your side is like a police state?
Yeah, and you'll be killed if you don't fight.
Okay, I would just... What I'd probably do in that situation is I would just build my own robot.
Oh, okay. And it'd be like a super cool robot?
It'd probably be pretty lame. Like, probably like...
Just found parts at the junkyard. And then you get
like a trash
and then you get into
robot.
a fight with the local teens.
Yeah.
How's that go for you?
Well, I would happen upon a Gundam, so...
Oh, alright. Yeah, then I think you would win the war.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be deeply traumatized by it.
Well, that's how you know you're the
protagonist. Or I would have a good time, and I'd run off to go some other planet, like Jupiter.
I don't think... I do not think Judo had a good time, Kyo.
How's it gonna go when you come back from Jupiter, Kyo?
They don't say. He doesn't show... I think he shows up like in one of the mangas as an old man. But he doesn't show up...
He didn't have a good time. He didn't have a particularly good time, but he didn't have like a bad time.
I mean, compared to the other protagonist, I'm gonna assume he had a better time.
Yeah.
Considering what happens to Amuro and
Camille. And Amuro again.
Well, I meant just Amuro in general, because Amuro turns out mostly... He's traumatized, but he is, like, physically okay.
Yeah.
The first time. And the second time, I guess. It's just afterwards that... Like, he goes through 2 wars and is like, this sucked, but alright. And the third time is when he's like, oh no, here we go.
Yeah, that's what I would say if I were there.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, after that flashback scene, he has a little chat with Carla, who asks him to avenge Hoover.
Yeah.
And kill the Gundam pilot.
Yeah, Carla is not helping
like,
his case here in terms of his like desire for revenge. He was
like, I was already pretty much doing that, so like, don't need to tell me twice.
But now pussy is on the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the idea of pussy. Speculative.
Now that the speculative pussy's on the table, he's like, I gotta fight. Gotta get this guy.
So yeah, then we cut to them setting up their sniper nest. And the Gundam flies by. And they can't hit him, he's too fast.
Most of them can't hit him. One guy comes real close, and by one guy I mean Daryl. Would have got him too if it wasn't for some sort of interventional Thunderbolt.
Yeah, it was God's lightning.
God's plan.
God's plan. Io is saved by God's plan. A Thunderbolt hits right at the same time that Daryl is firing, and Daryl's like in disbelief. He's like, "What the fuck?"
And so Io, the hero that he is, immediately takes one of Daryl's comrades hostage as a human shield.
Yeah, he just commits some light war crimes real quick.
He's just bouncing the Zaku off of his shield while flying around.
And he's like, well, you gonna hit me or you gonna hit him, buddy? Which one you gonna do? You gonna kill us both? I doubt it. And Daryl's like, alright, well, if I get this guy close enough, I can just hit him. And then Io's like, nah, I'm gonna kill your friend. And he does, and then he's about to kill Daryl, and Daryl has a flash bomb or something?
Yeah, this was the one part of the movie that doesn't work. In the manga, they're fighting on top of a bunch of solar panels that have come loose. So when the flash bomb goes off, they're reflected onto the Gundam. Kind of fry his sensors.
Yeah, because from the perspective of this, I don't how the Gundam wasn't just like... Because the Gundam gets gets its paint messed up, but it's still like mostly active.
Yeah, no, its cameras would have been blown out by the flash, but the movie doesn't do a good job of selling it here.
Yeah,
but before that happens, he does stab Daryl through the cockpit.
Yeah. And so Daryl wakes up again after the flash bomb. He's lost another limb.
Oh, and we find out that the Gundam's attack on the sniper's nest was a diversion. Meanwhile, the Federation fleet just kind of fucked up the other Zeon forces shit.
Yeah. And this Zeon captain who seems very... I don't know, he's just very frazzled the entire time, this guy.
Oh, yeah, he's also got peg legs.
Yeah, he's got a hook hand too, doesn't he?
Yeah. He reveals that they've only got 4 mobile suits left, and that they've been ordered to fight to the death.
They've been ordered to fight to the death, and he says, that includes you, scientists.
So,
if I were the scientist, I'd be like, I just calculated that that's not the case.
And he does.
Well, in that case, carry on.
He's like, hey, the project we've been working on, I think it's time to deploy it.
Yeah, this fucking coward. I don't know this guy's name, but He's a piece of shit.
It's dickwad. It's dickless.
Dickless, yeah. This man has no dick. He goes up to Carla and he's like, listen, just cut this dude's arm off.
Yeah, it needs all four. You need to plug in all four limbs or it doesn't work, apparently.
Yeah, I guess. It's just like, we need a quadriplegic or else this isn't going to work. Sorry, that's the best I could come up with my advanced degrees.
So they go back to Daryl, who's just recovering from the arm surgery of losing. And just like, what's going on? No words.
They're like, well, we're about to do...
Well, I'm not saying you have a choice, but... I'm not saying you have a choice, because you don't. And so he gets his other arm amputated.
Sad opera music plays.
Yeah. I mean, he does choose this, but
allegedly.
Yeah, he says
the
he chooses
it. The choice was he does it or he doesn't do it and everyone dies.
Yeah.
Because they only have 4 mobile suits.
So he agrees, and this is called the Psycho Zaku, right?
Yes.
Which is like an experimental version of what becomes the... Yeah. So,
not to be confused with the Saikumo Test Zaku, which we see at the last scene of the movie for like a few seconds.
Oh, okay. And yeah, it's pretty wild stuff. He
gets cut up and it's cross-cutted again with them assembling armor onto the Zaku.
Yeah, and he wakes up. He sees Carla crying in the corner, and he's like, "Yo, what's up?" She's like, "This was a bad idea."
I'm sorry, we had to cut your penis off too.
It's the only way it would work.
Responsiveness. The synchronicity rate was too low.
He's like, well, it's all right. I could still do stuff to you.
Wow, what a champ.
She's like, huh?
I'm sorry, Daryl, we had to cut your tongue off as well. No.
Yeah, they went old boy on him. So yeah, he's like, or she's like, yeah, it turns out this was a bad idea. I don't know why. It turns out war sucks and I hate it. And he's like, I'm gonna kill this guy. Don't worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
Essentially, we get down to eventually what's gonna happen here at the end. These boys are gonna clash.
Meanwhile, we cut back to the Federation. They've got some reinforcements.
Yeah, a bunch of very young people, like children essentially, are coming on board. They're just like, we're here to fight.
Yeah, the Federation was hoping that they would turn out like Amuro.
I guess. I like the idea that like they made Amuro this big, like he's on billboards and posters everywhere, and like all of the like kids from like 10 to like 18 are like, I'm gonna be like him.
Well, yeah, they literally do salute the Gundam when they see it.
That's true.
It's not even the same Gundam.
They just see Gundam and they're like, ooh, gotta salute that. Yeah. So Claudia is doing space heroin.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's not taking it well. She does some space heroin and hangs out.
She does all the space heroin in her.
Yeah, apparently. And like Io goes to like see her and he's like, "Are you using?"
He does a little more than that.
And meanwhile, Graham is like, typical.
Yeah, Graham is just like, there she goes, doing space heroin again.
I guess that's her limit.
And Io does a bit more than that. He slaps her around and is just like, get a hold of yourself.
We got more people to kill.
Yeah, he's like, come on, we got a war to fight, and we just got some more expendable bodies. And she's like, that's the exact reason why I'm in the state I am. Yeah. He's like, I don't get it.
I think he does.
You should be happy. We got more guys.
I think he does get it. He's just putting on a front.
I think he gets it by the end. I don't know if he gets it in this exact moment.
I think he's just too clouded by his own pain to realize how fucked it is for those kids.
Yeah. Well, this guy is a grade A sociopath for sure, because he goes on a rant early in the movie about the rush he gets in the Gundam killing people.
Well, that is a symptom of trauma, is developing an addiction to cheap thrills and adrenaline. Char also sort of had that. He mentions in Zeta Gundam he doesn't like waiting and sitting around.
I guess, but this guy is not Char. He's a clear, like, grade A bad person. Char at least is, like, charming.
Becoming a sociopath is kind of something that does happen because, like, a lot of time because of trauma,
Yeah.
so...
True. Also, I guess it should be mentioned, Char is also a sociopath.
Yeah.
He's not my friend, I'll tell you that much. Not after last week.
What did he do last week? Drop another colony?
Well, it wasn't a colony, but, like, I had this...
It was a resource asteroid, actually. Nobody lived on it.
Nobody lived on it, and nobody lived on the place where he dropped it, the Earth.
Well, nobody should be living on it.
Do you think in high school Char went around doing book drops on people?
Yes.
Like threatening, or not even doing it yet. Like he was threatening that he was gonna do a book drop. If you do not agree to my terms, I'm going to book drop you.
Remember in the origin how the headmaster was so terrified of him?
Because he book dropped him. The headmaster had all these books, and Char came over and just whapped them right out of his hand.
Yeah, he brought in the books for the students.
Yeah.
Swap. Now they don't have any books.
They all went up. They all went right into the furnace. Let that be a lesson to you. And the headmaster's just like, yes, Mr. Char.
Char just like, haha, seniors.
So, let's see here. Where are we at? Oh yeah, so she's taking space drugs. She's like, this war sucks. I'm sending more people to their death. And he's like, yeah. I guess that does kind of suck.
And Al gives a speech to the children right before they do their operation about how they're all just interchangeable chunks of meat being thrown into the thresher.
Yeah, it's a
but piloting robots is very cool. He makes sure to lay down that point to them.
Yeah, he does want them to all know that piloting robots is cool, even though most of them will die.
They're like, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, woo, can't wait to pilot a robot and die. Woo, robots for some, death for others.
I think these kids are supposed to be like the audience stand-in.
We're like wooed above things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Go back over at the shit kid residence, the shit scientist dude. He's having this conversation with Carla where he's like, we gotta get out of here. And she's like, no, I'm not planning on doing that.
Yeah, the battle's about to start. All the mobile suits have already launched. People are getting into position.
He's like, well, I'm leaving. And she's like, yeah, I'm not. He's like, you should probably leave. He's like,
and then the ship gets like struck by a nearby blast. And he's like, oh no, the disc!
The data!
Yeah, Carla just floats away in disgust.
Yeah. And he's like,
hey, come back! Oh well.
Can't lose his downloads.
He has a little subplot here to show how like fucking pathetic and worthless this dude is. He
throws someone out of an escape pod, wounded man out of an escape pod, and takes it for himself.
Yeah, and presumably he makes it out, but I don't know because they're firing. Aren't they shooting the escape pods?
Yeah, war crime moment.
Yeah, top 10 war crime moments. Yeah, this is the guy's positioned to shoot the escape pods.
So yeah, Daryl's unit is down to 3 guys. Daryl's in the Saikuzaku, Wolfie's in the Dom, and his poor schmuck is on the Zaku 1. On the big gun.
And yeah, it doesn't take long for Mr. Thunderbolt
he gets lit up after
there.
firing 1 shot.
Mr. Thunderbolt gets there.
That gives Daryl the opening to lay waste to the Federation fleet.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Federation mobile suits are destroying the the Xeon fleet.
As is typically the case, usually.
Yeah, we get to see some child soldiers massacred when they get ambushed by Wolfer and the Dom.
We get to see that?
Yeah, we were all waiting for it.
Yeah, they give us a little treat.
He just
rewarded us for watching the movie.
Yeah, he just jumps in from out of the top of the frame and submachine guns like 3 of them John Wick style.
And it's the moment we've all been building up to with this movie, jazz fight. Just a big old dudes fighting dudes jazz fight.
Oh yeah, this is a top 10. Two guys trying to kill each other fight.
You love to see it.
Yeah. These guys are determined to murder one another. For reasons.
For the record, I don't agree with doing that.
Yeah, it turns out it's bad. Don't do it. So they're fighting, going through it, and at a certain point, Daryl has EO pretty much like beaten, and then they both retreat, right?
No, it's more like they both injure each other and they kind of get knocked back. Like Daryl's suit gets its arm blown off, so it starts spewing gas and he spins out of control and passes out from the G-force.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. And EO gets like thrown into an asteroid.
Yeah, and his sensors are damaged.
And he's like, I can't believe I'm gonna lose to this guy. That fucking sucks. I'm not gonna lose.
This is such an amazing fight because they're like standing like 5 feet away from each other, shooting at each other with a big beam cannon and bazookas.
Yeah, it's
I'm not kidding.
Nothing's happening to them. So then we get. Is this the part where Daryl has the weird flashback where he's on the beach with Carla?
Oh, it's a weird
not
vision.
Flashback, but
it's
like a vision.
No, I think this is where we get the subplot of all the ships are blown up, so the Federation are trying to hijack the last Xeon ship. So
yeah. Oxygen. This is fine, I guess. It's not. It's pretty good.
This makes the movie for me. I think thematically.
Oh wait, no. I was going to talk about Claudia's thing, which is fine.
Oh yeah, her dying.
Yes.
Her death scene.
It's. I mean, I get the theme. I get it thematically. It's just, it's fine. The stuff that happens with Carla and like the
the Carla scene
and Cornelius.
Yeah, I like the scene where Carla's on the AA gun, and her like aide, her apprentice, is like, "It's simple. Just remember what you were taught in training," and then she immediately gets blown up by the Gundam.
Yeah, so it's good. Good stuff.
Do they train people to fight the Gundam?
Well, they train them to fire the gun.
Yeah, that's enough. That's as much training as you get.
Really?
Not going to work on the Gundam.
No.
Just so you know.
FYI, doesn't work. So there's this whole bit where what are they trying to do here?
They're banning ship because Daryl fucked it up.
Yeah. And they're
Claudia's trying to pull Graham out of some rubble.
Oh, yes. Yeah, she's like, we gotta get out of here, and Graham's like, nah. We gotta die.
You fucked everything up.
It's like you fucked this entire thing up, and
my dead family is screaming at me.
I'm gonna have to kill you now. He's like, oh, don't worry, I'll be there soon.
Yeah, and he shoots her with a gun,
and she dies presumably, and so does he presumably.
And they get both. Well, she gets sucked out into the vacuum of space right before the ship explodes.
Yeah, they both
very
do,
conspicuous
don't they?
timing. I don't think Graham gets sucked out. I think he just gets incinerated.
Oh. Rest in peace.
He was a real one.
He was a real one.
Yeah, he kept it real by shooting his superior officer.
That's praxis.
That's what we do.
It's true. So yeah,
he's dead.
He's dead. Claudia's also probably dead.
Yeah. So the Federation soldiers are like, we gotta take this ship, or we'll asphyxiate. Meanwhile, the Xeon guys are kind of like just chilling in the cold. Listening to blues music.
Just hanging out.
Or maybe like doo-wop. A doo-wops type beat.
Yeah, they're listening to music is the main point here.
But Carla and like the captain are just setting up the reactor to explode.
Yeah, and they have a bit of a standoff here. Where is this speech is by Cornelius, right?
It's not even a speech. It's more like a desperate rant of him just talking about how he's tired of killing.
Yeah, I guess it's true. And he's like, we're from
used
side
to live
4.
Here.
And they're like, wait, we're from side 4.
No, Yeah, they're shocked that they've been fighting space noids this whole time.
Yeah, they're like, hold on a second.
Wait, you're not assholes from Earth?
And they, before any actual thought, any thought even of peace is brought up, immediately a mobile suit just pokes a hole in.
From the top with the beam saber, they're evaporated.
Yeah.
And the saxophone goes wild while this is happening.
And Carla goes flying out into space, but is grabbed, and she fucking loses it.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, makes sense. You just got grabbed by a robot.
If that happened to me, I would die.
And then these two weird-looking dudes are like, hey, why hasn't the ship exploded yet? We gotta do something.
Yeah.
And that prompts this huge firefight. That culminates in the guy with the weird eyes blowing up the ship magazine.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
In a sort of bumbling manner.
He, tries to do, a Sig Zeon, or Sig Zeon explosion, but, doesn't go well for him.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we cut back over.
Yeah.
This is where he gets, Daryl has, a vision of, him on the beach with Carla, just hanging out.
Yeah, at the same time, he was like, I'm gonna finish this, and pops off the armor. So it's just a regular-ass RX-78 now.
And he's, right there, ready to kill Daryl, and then...
You've got the beam saber.
A bolt of lightning strikes the entire...
Zaku.
Yeah, it strikes the Zaku, and gives Daryl the time to fire a missile right
and
through
realize that...
Yeah.
Yeah. And realize that the real miracle was meeting Carla.
Yeah, which, sure, I guess.
Well, I mean, it is... I mean, he did also have a scene when he was fighting earlier. He was like, this is awesome!
Oh, yeah, there's a line
I have for making this, Carla.
There's a line that I have that is, soul-crushing, where he's like, this is better than having limbs, pretty much.
Yeah, that is what he says.
He says it was worth losing his limbs.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Is he having a good day or a bad day?
He's having the worst day ever.
Well, yeah, at the end, by the end of it, I guess. It depends. Do you judge the day by the middle of it or by the end of it? Because by the middle of his day, he's having a great day.
After he's struck by lightning, that's sort of like he's in post-net clarity mode for the rest of the film.
I guess you're right, yeah.
Yeah, so he's just remorseful and guilty.
He shoots the head off of his Gundam.
With his missile launcher.
Yeah, and in return, his head gets blown up. Right?
Yeah.
And then they battle some more. Their suits both get fucked
and
up.
Then and then Zeon shows up because what's his name in the Wolfer showed
the real hero actually. When you think about
to go get help.
Yeah, Wolfenstein was the real hero this whole time.
And so all the Federation guys get captured, and I guess the 3 Zeon dudes who are still alive get rescued.
EO sees Daryl pop out of the Psycho Zaku and is like, I can't believe I lost to this guy. This guy has no legs and no arms, and I lost to him. How? Could it be that I'm actually bad at piloting?
I would say he's pretty good.
He's pretty good at piloting.
He's very good.
It turns out they're both pretty good.
He was just
if you kill a lot of people, then you're officially good. That's how it works.
He was just a terrible human being, is his problem.
Yeah. It turns out
the Psycho Zaku shoots some sparks and then just flies off into the vacuum of space to explode.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Gundam gets stuffed into a semi-truck and driven off.
Yeah, so they go back. He's captured and everything.
Yeah, he's getting the shit beat out of him by the guards.
Yeah. There's this weird scene where he seems to be hanging out and making out with Carla, but I thought Carla was in a coma.
No, he's just kind of holding her.
Oh, okay.
And Carla's just catatonic.
Yeah, she seems to not be in the best state.
Yeah.
So he eventually, this guy, EO gets the shit beat out of him. He's just sort of hanging out naked in a cell. Not even a cell, just a missile.
Yeah. Daryl comes to talk to him, and he goes yeah, that was pretty cool, right?
And Daryl's like, no.
No fuck.
It's actually, it was bad. And he's like, well, I mean, you must have...
You did chop your limbs off.
Yeah, he's like, you did give up your body for the suit.
And Daryl's just like, oh. And Eo's like, don't worry. I don't think this war is over yet.
Yeah, he's like, don't worry. War never ends. We'll always be fighting until we're dead.
And then we cut to the Battle of Boaku. And it's a cool little montage.
Yeah, this cool montage of, like, the ship crashes and Eo escapes.
Yeah.
Saves his friends butt-ass naked. He shows up his friends and they're all like, cool dong!
We get to see a random new type Zaku kill, like, 8 Federation suits.
Yeah.
With this, and we also get to see, like, a very brief cameo of Amuro and Char.
I feel like,
light off in the distance.
Personally, the last line of this should have been Cornelius looking at Eo when he saves everybody and being like, nice cock.
No, instead it's Eo rubbing his nose.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, guess what? War never ends.
And we get a shot of Daryl fighting in the Gelgoog. And he's
this is heartbreaking.
But then this one gem comes from his side, and Daryl pulls out the beam staff, and then drops it.
Yeah.
Because his prosthetics are acting up.
That's not fair.
He only lives.
He should get a redo on that one. Honestly,
he only lives because his buddy saves him. And just looking at his hand, so many things must be going through his mind at that moment.
Yeah, it's pretty depressing. I'll be honest. It turns out war no good. Gundam does it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the end. We get some jazz music to play us out.
That sort of sounds like, that sort of has this bass line that sounds like the Dragon Ball GT rap. Da 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 da.
Yeah, and it's not decidedly, which is good, because that would be very weird to play at the end of this. Gundam! So yeah, that's the end for Gundam Thunderbolt. Thoughts? Questions? Comments?
Oh, that was the greatest of all time.
I enjoyed my time there. I think that everyone in the program had a good time up until their demises.
Yeah.
And
well, what about the people who survived?
I'm just really glad. I'm really just glad that this whole thing happened. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm glad it happened. And I'm glad it happened to these people. They seem better off.
I'm glad that Daryl got a medal for the start of the film.
Yeah,
he did.
Too bad the war ended before he could get another one.
Yeah, too bad. Yeah, so
Leo's probably got a shit ton of medals for that prison escape stunt.
100%, because he kills like a bunch of people and then it's like frees all his friends and stuff. Yeah,
that's how you get medals, is the killing part, not the friend part.
I mean, he was also naked, Kyo. That makes it double impressive.
The more people you kill, the more they call you a war hero. And that's just true. That's just the truth.
Okay, I can't disagree with that.
So yeah, this is like the perfect distillation of Gundam, like in 70 minutes. If you don't like this, you just won't vibe with Gundam, I don't think.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. It gets across everything you really need to know about the general themes of Gundam, while also just being a cool story. I appreciate that it manages to have Gundams in it with during like the beginnings or like the first series of Gundam without it feeling like a cheat.
Yeah, that's
cool. Yeah, it's good stuff.
I really love the design of the full armor Gundam.
Yeah, that's a good Gundam.
They're basically trying to min-max the original Gundam, for trying to just shove on as many weapons as possible.
Do you think Amuro was pissed when he found out that thing existed?
I don't think that would have changed things like by that point in the series, because the only real opponent he had trouble with was Char and the Zeong, and I don't think extra weapons would have helped with that.
Yeah, true.
But
by that point he was like a full-on new type, so it was like no one else stood a chance.
In War of the Pocket, it's revealed that the Federation was making a new type Gundam for Amuro that would have easily stomped the Zeong.
Dang.
But stuff happened.
Yeah, the war got out of pocket.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is good. This is a good movie. Definite tune in. I don't see how he would be a tune out at all in any way, shape, or form. And I'm glad this is the only one that they did.
Yeah.
They never made.
And they didn't do a second one that ended on a hard cliffhanger.
And never made a third one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They. That's what happened. Is they only made one. So
yeah.
Cool.
As a standalone Gundam movie, this is good.
Done.
You can watch this without knowing anything about Gundam.
Yeah, I think it's a good intro.
It's just like people out there, out in space.
Like, they don't even say the word new type in this.
They do, but they only mention it in passing.
Once. Yeah.
It could mean literally anything if you wanted it to.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is good stuff. So thanks, Puffifer, for this suggestion.
And a preemptive fuck you for the other films we're about to watch.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to one of them. That's for sure. But that'll be for another time because we can delay it no longer. I mean, Stair could try if he wanted, but there's no more delays necessary. Next week for sure, 100% Cowboy Bebop. We're doing it.
No way.
We're going back to live. We're watching this live action Cowboy Bebop. We've waited 4 months after the show already got canceled.
Yep.
To watch this, so we're in the zeitgeist as always.
We let it marinate.
Yeah, we let it stew before we got our official TV tuners pause on it. But at least we watched something good before that. So until next week, keep piloting. Bye.
Will you survive?
It's over.
Hey folks, time for the TV Tuners Fact of the Week. Did you know that Stairmaster is a quadruple amputee and is part of some kind of machine that fights out in space? It's pretty crazy.